Having a crush is one of the most natural things in the world. It's a feeling that's both exciting and a little bit scary. I remember, sobrang saya ng feeling na may tinitingnan ka from afar. It's that simple joy of seeing them walking down the hallway or hearing their voice in a crowded room. Ang sarap sa pakiramdam, diba? It's a universal experience that connects us all. It doesn't matter if you're young or old, we've all been there. It's a special kind of inspiration that makes you want to be a better version of yourself. Bigla ka na lang gaganahan pumasok sa school o sa work. That feeling of kilig is something else. It's like having butterflies in your stomach that just won't quit. You find yourself smiling for no reason at all. Minsan, nahuhuli mo na lang ang sarili mo na nakatulala, iniisip sila. Those little moments can brighten up a gloomy day. Having a crush makes ordinary days feel extraordinary. It adds a little bit of magic to our daily routines. It's a reminder that our hearts are alive and capable of feeling so much joy. We all deserve to feel that kind of simple, pure happiness in our lives. Of course, with the kilig comes the kaba or nervousness. Yung tipong kapag dadaan sila, bigla kang hindi makahinga na maayos. You suddenly become super conscious of how you look or what you're doing. You might even try to hide or act like you're busy with something else. It's funny how one person can have that effect on you. But this nervousness is also part of the fun. It's what makes the experience so memorable and thrilling, teaching us how to handle our emotions in new and sometimes awkward situations we find ourselves in. Looking back, I realize that having crushes is a beautiful part of growing up. It's a safe way to explore our feelings and learn about what we find attractive in another person. It teaches us about admiration and inspiration. These feelings, whether they lead to something more or not, are completely valid. They are our own little secrets that make life more colorful. They help shape our understanding of relationships and our own emotions. It's a journey of self-discovery that starts with a simple, innocent crush. I have so many memories tied to my past crushes, and I'm sure you do too. Walang Names, of course. I remember having a crush in high school who was really good at sports. I would secretly watch his games from the bleachers, cheering silently whenever his team scored. It was my own little world. Hindi niya alam na I was his #1 fan. Those moments were just for me, and they made my high school life so much more exciting. Looking back, it wasn't really about him, but about the feeling of admiration for someone's passion and skill. Then there was a crush I had in college who was part of a band. I would make sure to be there for their gigs, even if it meant going alone. I would stand at the back of the crowd, just listening to their music. The songs they played became the soundtrack of that chapter of my life. I memorized all the lyrics and felt every note. It was my way of connecting with him without ever having to say a word. It was an appreciation for his art and his talent. A quiet support from a distance that felt meaningful. I also remember having a crush on someone who was incredibly smart. He was the type to always raise his hand in class and share brilliant ideas. I was so amazed by his intelligence. I found myself studying harder and reading more books just because I was inspired by him. I wanted to be able to talk to him about interesting topics. That crush pushed me to be more curious and to love learning. It showed me that attraction isn't just about looks, but also about a person's mind and character. These experiences are precious because they were part of my journey. They were chapters of my life filled with simple joys and silent hopes. Each crush represents a different time, a different version of me. They are not just stories about other people. They are stories about my own growth. They remind me of the girl who was learning to navigate her feelings, who was discovering what it means to admire someone. And for that, I am grateful for every single one of those quiet, kilig-filled moments. Every crush I had taught me something valuable about myself and about life. They were more than just fleeting feelings. They were my secret teachers. One of the biggest lessons I learned was self-improvement. Because of my crushes, I was motivated to be better. I wanted to be more confident, more interesting, and more knowledgeable. Whether it was learning a new skill, reading a new book, or simply taking better care of myself, these crushes pushed me to level up. They became a source of positive motivation. I also learned a lot about what I value in a person. My crushes were my first glimpse into the qualities I find admirable. One crush taught me the importance of passion and dedication. Another showed me the beauty of intelligence and a curious mind. And another taught me about the power of kindness and a good heart. Through them, I started to build a picture of the kind of person I wanted to be with someday. It was like creating a checklist in my heart, not of perfect traits, but of meaningful qualities. Rejection was another big teacher. Of course, not every crush will like you back, and that's okay. I learned how to handle disappointment and move on. It taught me resilience. It made me understand that my worth is not determined by whether someone likes me or not. Crying over a crush who didn't notice me was a rite of passage. But after the tears, I learned to pick myself up, love myself more, and understand that some things are just not meant to be, and there's a bigger plan for me. Most importantly, these experiences taught me about my own capacity to feel. They opened up my heart to the world of emotions, to joy, hope, admiration, and even a little bit of sadness. They made my world bigger. Having a crush is a vulnerable thing, and being able to navigate those feelings helped me become more emotionally mature. I learned to appreciate the journey of my own heart, with all its twists and turns. These crushes were stepping stones that prepared me for deeper and more meaningful relationships later in life. Sharing stories about our past crushes can be a fun way to connect with friends. It's a relatable topic that often leads to laughter and bonding. We've all been there, and it's nice to know we're not alone in our kilig and awkward moments. These stories are a part of our history, our coming-of-age narrative. However, it's super important that we share these stories with respect and responsibility. We have to remember that our stories involve other people who have a right to their privacy, even if we don't mention their names. The golden rule is to focus on your own feelings and experiences. Talk about how you felt, what you learned, and how you grew. Instead of saying, "My crush did this and that," you can frame it as, "I remember feeling so happy when I saw my crush." This way, the story is about you and your journey. It honors your experience without putting the other person in the spotlight. Let's avoid sharing very specific, identifying details that might make someone feel exposed or uncomfortable. Discretion is key. Privacy is so important. Think about it. Would you want someone sharing detailed stories about you without your permission? Probably not. We have to give the same respect to others. The people we had crushes on have their own lives and their own stories. They may be in relationships now, or they may simply be private people. Sharing too much information, even with good intentions, can cross a line. Let's be the kind of storytellers who are mindful and considerate of the other people in our narratives. So, here are some tips. Share your feelings, not their secrets. Keep details general. Avoid using names, initials, or very specific identifiers like their exact course or workplace. And most of all, share with kindness. The goal is to connect and inspire, not to gossip or embarrass anyone. Our past experiences are valuable lessons. Let's honor them by sharing them in a way that shows respect for everyone involved. Every story, every crush, and every feeling is a part of who we are, and they deserve to be told with grace and care.